Holy Martyrs Kalliniki and Basilissa of Corinth. March 22nd. Two devout Christian women, disciples of Saint Kodratos, faced brutal persecution in 3rd century Corinth, steadfastly refusing to renounce Christ despite witnessing the torture and execution of their companions. A heads up in the spirit of transparency. Please be advised that this content may include martyrdom, torture, physical violence, execution. The Holy Martyrs Kalliniki and Basilissa lived in Corinth during the middle of the 3rd century, a period marked by intense and systematic persecution of Christians throughout the Roman Empire. Emperor Decius, who reigned from 249 to 251 AD, issued edicts demanding that all citizens offer sacrifices to the Roman gods. This act was intended to demonstrate loyalty to the empire and its traditional religion, effectively forcing Christians to renounce their faith or face severe penalties, including torture and execution. In Corinth, the local proconsul, named Jason, was charged with enforcing these decrees. Kalliniki and Basilissa were devout Christian women, counted among the disciples of the holy martyr Kodratos. Kodratos was a physician, a man of noble lineage, who dedicated his life to teaching the word of God. He gathered around him a community of believers, including Kalliniki and Basilissa, whom he guided in the Christian way of life. Recognizing the spiritual dangers of the secular world and the coming trials, Kodratos and his disciples would often withdraw to the tranquility of the mountains. There, away from the clamor of the city, they devoted themselves to prayer, fasting, and spiritual contemplation. This practice of ascetic withdrawal strengthened their faith and prepared their souls for the profound witness they were soon to offer. The imperial decree reached Corinth, and the search for Christians began. A military detachment was dispatched to find Kodratos and his followers. Upon locating them, the soldiers arrested the entire group, bringing them back to Corinth to stand trial before proconsul Jason. The proconsul presented them with the standard demand: worship the pagan idols and renounce their allegiance to Christ. This was not merely a political test. It was a demand to abandon their deepest spiritual conviction and embrace the worship of false gods. The trial commenced with Kodratos, their teacher. He stood firm, confessing Christ as the one true God. Proconsul Jason, seeking to break his resolve and set an example for the others, subjected Kodratos to various forms of torture. Yet, Kodratos endured these torments without faltering, his spirit remaining fixed on Christ. Following Kodratos, other male disciples of the group were also brought forward. They, too, faced brutal tortures and steadfastly refused to deny their faith. Ultimately, Kodratos and several of his male companions were condemned and beheaded, offering their lives as a final testimony. Among their number was also a woman named Chariessa. She, too, was subjected to tortures for her confession. The intensity of her suffering was such that, in an act of profound defiance and witness, she bit off her own tongue and spat it in the face of her torturer before expiring under the torment. The courage and unwavering faith of their companions, displayed in the face of extreme cruelty, served not to intimidate Kalliniki and Basilissa, but to fortify their own commitment. They had witnessed the ultimate sacrifice, and this prepared them to follow the same path. After their companions had been martyred, Saints Kalliniki and Basilissa were brought before proconsul Jason. He had seen the steadfastness of the others and expected them to yield. However, Kalliniki and Basilissa, having absorbed the spiritual teachings of Kodratos and having witnessed the powerful confession of their fellow Christians, remained unyielding. They stood before the proconsul, their hearts filled with faith, and refused to offer sacrifices to the idols. Their confession of Christ was clear and unwavering. Seeing their resolve, proconsul Jason issued the sentence against them. For their refusal to renounce Christ and their steadfast adherence to the Christian faith, Kalliniki and Basilissa were condemned to death. They were led to the place of execution, where they were beheaded by the sword. In this manner, Saints Kalliniki and Basilissa completed their earthly journey, joining the chorus of martyrs who gave their lives for Christ. Their witness, alongside that of Kodratos and their companions, stands as an enduring testament to the power of faith and the victory of Christ over the forces of persecution. The Church remembers them on March 22nd, honoring their memory and drawing inspiration from their courage and devotion.